Hey, what's going on YouTube? Arab Carthage here. I'm gonna do a little quick request. One of my fans on Twitter asked me to show what type of upgrades I put in my Naginata Samurai because said that he was hoping to use those in his army. There's a couple of different ways you can upgrade them. You can keep them cheap by only putting like 5 upgrades on there, and when I do the 5 upgrade thing, that's not a good example. I don't think I have any of the 5 upgrade examples anymore, but if you want to do like that's also pretty screwed up example. Sometimes when you upgrade these guys, they end up being weird. Where'd that unit go? Right here. Yeah. So in this particular unit, if you do 5 upgrades, you can hit morale, defense, defense, attack, attack. I did 2 melee defense on this one also just to make it like an uber defense unit. But if you want cheap Naginata Samurai that are about as effective as they can be, without having to spend too much koku, you can do it that way, but for, you know, only legendary melee defense. So apparently that costs quite a bit more to upgrade someone, but you know, it really ended up being a good deal. So anyway, that's kind of how I do my Naginata Samurai. If you want them to be more resistant to missile fire, you want to upgrade their armor as well. And then there's also a retainer that you can use to increase your armor. So if you want to, you can actually get your Naginata Samurai up to 11 armor, which makes them very resistant to missile fire. In any case, that's how I do my Naginata Samurai. If you have any more questions about them, let me know. Let's go ahead and go play a battle. I did want to go ahead and bring you a battle while I was on here. I'm going to try and steer clear of the mixed avatars just because, I don't know, it's kind of fun to do the whole patchy decimating a modern army, but the modern armies are kind of annoying too, and sometimes I just like some good old-fashioned action here, so we'll see if we can find a match that's not a Fall of the Samurai match, and see if we can have some fun with it. Though some of my bow units are beat up from a match where I just played against a Fall of the Samurai army. Looks like I'm playing against Rich here. He appears to be level 8, and Ubayu Onsen is the map. I don't exactly remember what that map is, but whatever. So let's put together a little bit of an army here. My monks are mostly intact, albeit a little damaged, so I'm going to go ahead and bring them. That just actually makes them a little more affordable. I will use my Naginata Samurai, this one that has the mega defense. And I had one more with 15 defense, so let's use those two. These two have really high defense, and let's see how they do. As far as what else to bring, I've got some pretty high attack swords here. I mean, they're not like as high as they can be, but they're pretty high for the price. So I'll bring a couple of high attack swords. And then let's bring my Long Yari and my Waka Raiders. That's always a helpful unit. So let's see, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 infantry. That's a pretty good round number. Probably want to focus on a little cavalry here. I think we'll just bring some pretty standard Yari Cav. And then that remaining bit of money, I'll grab some throwaway units. It's always a worthwhile bet. They can help you capture dojos and whatnot. So it looks like I'll be in pretty good shape to go ahead and go here. The retainers I'm playing there is Blade Master, which gives my swords +2 attack. Infantry Officer gives me +1 morale to all samurai units. Fugu Cook takes away 2 attack from any enemy sword units. And the other one I'm playing is World Weary, which takes 1 morale, 1 attack, and 1, I think, defense from each enemy veteran unit. So it's very debilitating to enemy veterans. It's a very good retainer. It used to be worse. It used to take away 2 attack, I think. And it's a pretty devastating retainer to have played against you. It's not usually what you want. I'm not sure if it affects Fall of the Samurai units. I haven't checked into that. The other retainer I was playing there was Trading Post, which just makes my units a certain percentage cheaper and basically allows me to bring more units, or at least 1 more unit to each battle. That's the way I like to look at it. It's always handy to have an extra unit. So I find that to be a very worthwhile retainer as well. Alright, he's played the Fugu Cook against me, which is a good move on his part. Because if he hadn't, then my sword units would have been rather powerful. There is an archery dojo to be captured. And there's also a workshop. The workshop is not going to do me much good. I'm going to focus on the archery dojo. I'm only going to put some of my Nagi attendants up front. take them, put them there. I'm going to put my swords in my second line. Let's make another line back here with my Naginata Samurai. I might use them for flanking since they're pretty tough units. Let's see how else we want to lay this out. I'm going to put my general right here behind my Nagi Samurai. It's a good safe spot. And I want my Yariki to take this hill, but I'm going to hide one right here if at all possible. Yep, it's hidden. And then let's see, my Waka Raider. I'm going to put it as close to that archery dojo as I can because I want to try and start capping it. Let's actually put my Long Yari right here. It's a good unit to put right in the center of your army. Just because it can absorb, like when it's in Spear Wall, it can block a lot of oncoming enemy pain. Good unit to have out there. And then backed up by some swords with good attack, that can be pretty worthwhile. So basically I've got my army formed up here into somewhat defensive, but also a formation that I can use to mount an attack. So you can see that I do have a lot of layers. It's kind of columnar. But I've got basically my range, the defense for my range, a blocking mechanism for an enemy charge, my high attack, and then I can whip these guys out to the flank or help protect against cav. These guys will help protect my general, and then of course I got my cav in a position to maneuver, so we should be in pretty good shape here. Put my Yari cav up here. So let's go ahead and get things started. My opponent started on the opposite side of the map. Not sure why he did that. You can hold down on the control key when moving your units, and they will continue to walk. So when you have a unit like a Waka Raider, you can keep them hidden in that type of position. It's going to be hard for me to keep this Yari Cav hidden. Let's see what my opponent's got. Nagi Samurai. He's got a lot of Nagi Samurai. Light Cav. That's one of the new hero Cav units. It's kind of like a Great Guard. It's going to be a tough one. Fire Cav. My opponent has some expensive Cav. Very expensive Cav. And he's got some warrior monks in there as well. He's got a pretty tough army. And it looks like he's going to move to take the workshop. Not sure what his reasoning is for that. But I'll go ahead and move up and take this hill. No need in me sticking around here. At this point, he's probably going to know that I have Waka Raiders just because I'm capping that. Archery dojo with no unit present. But that's okay. I don't really care if he knows that I have them. I don't know why it's taking my group so long to move. The hill must be hanging him up. I like it when I use Patchy though because I can run my guys all over the place. Ooh, he's got a heavy gunner and matchlock monks. So what I'm going to do to counter that is kind of hang back behind this hill and allow my bows to fire over the hill, whereas his matchlocks are going to be a line of sight weapon. Also, I've got my Yari Cav hidden right there. It's unlikely that I'll be able to do much with him just because he's got so many spears, but I can try. My opponent has a marked Cav advantage, though. He's charging his Cav over the hill right now, it looks like. I'm actually going to pull back if my opponent continues to crest the hill. But for now, I'm just looking to get my two bows into firing position on his matchlocks. So that's going to be my #1 priority right now. He is running a light Cav around up there. He's probably going to make a run for my bows.
Our hidden units have been discovered, my lord!
Yeah, it looks like he's going to sacrifice that light Cav trying to take out my bows. I'm going to ungroup my bows from the rest of that, kill his light Cav real quick and back up and get ready to start shooting his matchlock units. But I got to make sure that light Cav dies real fast. So see, I'm going to lure my opponent out here. So he's cresting the hill. Oh, I left my cab over there. Crap. Not good. See if I can pull my cab out of there and keep some of these guys alive. They may be down to half strength, but it's still very much worth my while. That was pretty dumb of me to leave my cab sitting there like that. My opponent's going to come over here with his fire cab, and I'm going to use my Waka Raiders to help assist here. He's got that Spears of the Shogun unit there, but I'll try and intercept them with my Waka Raiders. They'll actually probably cause quite a bit of damage to my Waka Raiders. His fire cab's right there.
Our men are running from the
There's his heavy
battlefield.
gunner.
Shameful
I'm going to take out his
display.
heavy gunner real quick. I'm not worried about his matchlock monk. I'm just going to focus on his heavy gunners. I'm going to intercept the charge of his guys over here. And then go into a Yari wall. His cav has pretty much mopped the floor with mine. But that's okay. I'm not really too concerned about it at the moment. I've got this building to kind of help protect my flank a little. My bow monks should make short work of his heavy gunners
Our men
here.
are running from the battlefield. Shameful display.
He's got some cav kind of encroaching my line over here, so I'm going to pull some Naginatas up front, help protect my swords. And his cav is caught up on my my Naginatas at the moment. Okay, that's going to be the end of his heavy gunners. They're gone, so I'm going to hit his matchlock monks. I'm kind of taking this guy out piecemeal. I don't know if this is really a smart move on my part. I'm going to take my cab around his flanks at this point. I've pretty much destroyed his matchlock monks. My opponent's general is going to be vulnerable to my bow fire now, so I'm going to switch the targets of my bows. And you can see that my long Yari is doing his job here, just completely holding down the front of the enemy army. It's given me a lot of ability to do what I need to do here. Enemy general's going down quick for my bow monks. He's going to be dead. I'm going to try and run a hammer and anvil assault with my Yari cav. My opponent paid a really high price for his cav and didn't really gain any worthwhile cav superiority. His infantry is very tough, and you can see that it's wearing mine down quite well. But my bows have also caused a lot of damage in this fight. I'm going to kind of run some repeated hammer and anvil strikes here on his infantry in the center. It's some warrior monks, so these guys are pretty tough. I don't expect them to easily break. I'm gonna see if I can. No, okay, his general routed. His general routed, but I'm losing a lot of guys too. I'm gonna go ahead and hold this guys down for just a second longer with his Nagi Tenant. Okay, there his guys go. So that was a pretty tough fight actually. My opponent had some pretty good infantry. I made some management mistakes that he took advantage of, but in the end my bows really did a great job of killing some of his key units, and including his general and his 2 matchlock units. So I think that turned out fairly good for me in the end, even though I'm certain I could have played a little better there. Let's go take a look at the results. So good game to my opponent. Some of you might have wondered why I was running backwards during that too. Some people get mad when you run backwards, but the reason I was doing that is because he's using the matchlock units, and I don't want to allow him to just get right in my face and get a whole lot of kills. Plus he would have had a hill advantage had I stayed in that position, so it was smarter of me to pull back, or else I would have put myself at a decisive disadvantage. My opponent should have halted his pursuit at that point, knowing that if he came out on open ground, my bows were going to make short work of him. He did a good job of bringing a unit such as Light Cav to try and get my bows, but he wasted it a little too quickly. His other cav units were very expensive, and he did manage to kill most of my cav, but he did so at a Pyrrhic price. which still allowed one of my beat-up cav units to get back behind his lines. So if you're going to spend that much money on cav units, you definitely need to make sure you grab the cav advantage, but not just grab it, but do it in a way that's decisive, or else you just spend a lot of money for nothing, basically. Take a look at the unit statistics, imagining that, yeah, look at my long Yashigaru. Like I said, right there in the middle of my army, those things are just a deadly unit. It held up all of his troops, got 167 kills. Then you can see that my bow warrior monks also got a lot of my kills, followed by my katana samurai, which is to be expected. This katana samurai had some pretty high attack. Apache's pain patrol did pretty good, only lost 44 men, got 94 kills, so that extra defense may have made a difference in that particular case. It's kind of hard to say. Anyway, let's go grab another match. Okay, actually I had just found a good match that I was excited about, but for some reason, I guess the guy readied up while I was still selecting my army, and there was no countdown timer. Actually, this is him. Good. I get to play him again. So yeah, he readied up and there was no countdown timer, so he got a free win. So this time I'm going to quickly select my army. I guess he's just level 6, so the funds are medium funds. Like I said, I'm going to have to select my army quickly because I expect that he's probably going to... Yeah, look, he's just done the same thing again. So I guess that he's happy to take any easy wins he can get from me in that respect. I'm going to bring a couple of bow cav because these guys just basically equate out to be cheap bows. And then I'm going to bring some... let's see, I'm going to bring some Nagi Samurai. And then some sword units. There we go. That should do. Alright, so this time he won't get a cheap win off me. That was pretty stinking annoying. This is the Caldera map. I think the extra mobility in my bow cav will give me probably come in pretty handy. God, that ticks me off. I hate it when people ready up that fast. I mean, I've done it by mistake before, so I mean, maybe it was a mistake. But I mean, usually it's on purpose. Like, people ready up so that you may not be able to finish your army and they get a quick, easy win. I honestly, that's pretty annoying. I think that the matchmaking system, I don't know, there's got to be some way to get around that being able to happen. Of course, you don't want it to take too terribly long so that it doesn't take you forever to get into a game, but I mean, maybe even like a minute and a half or something on the countdown timer would be nice. Okay. I would definitely like to cap that dojo for attack, so I'm going to leave a Nagi attendant over there to do it. And then I'm going to take the bulk of my army, though, and head towards that side. So let's take one Nagi attendant, go that way. Never mind, that's... yeah, I want this one over there. Put this guy here to absorb any missile fire. Stack my katana samurai there. Get my general in. I'm going to put my cav on the high ground and quickly rush forward to see if I can put some flanking shots down with my bow cav. So that'll kind of be my plan there. Okay, so let's get things moving here. Alright, my opponent is going for the dojo, so actually what I'll do is that, and let's group that guy out. So what kind of cav my opponent's got? Nagi Monk cav. So let's leave these guys here. What's he got here? Another monk cav. So my opponent's got 3 monk cav. I'm going to keep my cav close to my infantry body then for support. He's going to charge me over here with his monk cav. I hope he does. He might be able to rout my guy just because Nagi attendants are so bad, but this just gives me some free kills on his cav that I'm happy to take. Now he seems to be making a beeline for the back of my army, maybe? Not really sure what he's up to. His monk cav's engaging my Nagi attendants over here too. I'm going to try and put some hits on him with my bow cav. Looks like I gave them a pretty good beating there. He's pretty much just all out assaulting me here, which to be honest is kind of fine with me. If I can kill some of his cav early, it's really just going to be to my favor.
Our men are running from the battlefield! A shameful display!
He's making a run for my general there, but I do have some Nagi samurai nearby. I'm putting a lot of bow fire down on his monk cav right there too. So my opponent's done a good job of disorganizing me early, I'll give him that. And it's going to allow him to take the morale dojo there, but I should be able to get away with killing a lot of his expensive monk cav. Every time my opponent has to turn and run from my bow cav, I'm going to use that as an opportunity to chase after him and put more shots down that should rout them.
Our men are running from the battlefield! Shameful display!
I don't want this monk cav to get a hold of my swords, though. I'm going to have to be careful of that. My opponent's being very aggressive with this cav. He's got some missile units after me now too, which is tough for me. He's got me in a pretty good disrupted position here.
Our general is in grave
He's
danger,
definitely
my
keeping me
lord.
moving. But if I can finish off his cav here, I'm pretty sure I can just charge him down and take him. He's firing on my Naginata samurai at the moment. I should be able to take that dojo back from him before I attack him though, and I think that I can probably take his guys out of the fight right now here. And then I'll pick at his archers and stuff. Dang man, those monk calves still managed to kill one of my bow cav. Stupid guys won't rout. You would think in the face of my whole army they might rout. I'm going to try and get away with a few of my bow cav here. My opponent's already sitting around and stand and fight.
Our men are running from the battlefield! A shameful display!
Wow, those monk cav are still sitting in there with 10 guys. Okay, I've managed to take the attack building away from my opponent. He's mainly using Yari Ashigaru here. They do have hold firm, it looks like, so that's appearing to be the basis of his army, so I'm not really sure if I can win this fight at this point. I'm going to move to outflank my opponent from the hill here, and hopefully I can use that. His bows are a little exposed, so I'll chase after them with my general real quick. Should be able to peel some of his swords off at the same time here. I'll use my general to try and keep his bows moving here. I don't want to allow him to recapture that shrine. I'm going to run off. It looks like his swords are chasing me, so I'm just going to straight up run. So now I'm going to take this opportunity to surround my opponent. I'm going to take my general back around over here too. I'll see if I can keep my opponent busy for just long enough. See if I can get into those bows. Yeah, now all of his troops are turning around in circles. That's good. I don't want my opponent to cap that. I'm going to silence his bows for just a second if I can with my bow cav. My opponent's gone into a complete defensive formation here. I'm sure that he's hoping to use his hold firm, and he probably will be able to use it pretty successfully. It's incredibly powerful. But I'm going to take my general around the rear if possible and try and kill his general with mine. He's got his guys set up in kind of a blocky formation here too, so maybe I can get around the back and hammer and anvil some of these. Alright, I just routed some of his Yari Eshigaru, so that was a nice breakthrough for me. I might yet be able to pull this off. My opponent's now not going to have enough units to try and keep me from outflanking, and I can now kill his bow with my general. So that's going to be the end of his bows. My guys have a massive height advantage, so I do think I'll end up being able to pull this off. So my opponent did a really excellent job of distracting me up front and keeping my units pinned down and you know, out of whack and all kinds of stuff. Like, I mean, he had me all kinds of distracted with that monk cav. But in the end, that morale shrine and me being able to outflank him, so I mean his guys were probably better than me, but he sat still there and just kind of gave up the initiative to me, and that's going to allow me to outflank him. Right here, my general is just going to shred his general, because his general's in stand and fight, and that should be a devastating blow to morale. So yeah, Apache's got some pretty stinking good statistics for a leadership general when it comes to attack, and he's going to tear this guy a new one. So that was actually probably one of the better games I've played in a while, as far as my opponent like actually giving me a run for it there. Now, I mean, I'm not saying I haven't lost any games recently, because I have, but I'm just saying that like this game, you know, I thought it was good because my opponent was kind of proactive and coming after me. I haven't had that happen in a while. He's got a Yari Eshigaru over here that regroups. I'm gonna have to pull my general away from it. I'm going to chase down some of his routing troops. I'll take my general over here to chase these routing troops, and I'll bring my infantry to come attack his. Because if I don't go attack these routing troops, they're going to come back from routing and come play a role in that fight. There's still quite a few of them there. His troops started routing with some pretty low morale. Because my guys have the morale shrine, and I had a better terrain advantage. So yeah, I've got to get into these guys quick before they regroup. That should shatter them. So Apache's going to play a pretty important role right there. There we go.
My lord, a glorious victory will soon be yours.
All right. So I guess that makes me and my opponent 1-1. Yeah, he won one off a technicality because he readied up too fast and the stupid timer thing didn't work, so I didn't know he had readied up. And on a match where I actually got to fight him there, it looks like I was able to take him down. So interesting strategy he had there as far as really, I mean, he worked hard to disrupt my army because I obviously had a disadvantage in cav. Bringing those bow cav put me at a decisive disadvantage in the cavalry department. Had I brought 3 Yari cav and maybe 1 bow cav or something, I could have fought him off better. But he, you know, destroyed my cav, which kind of surprised me a little bit. Usually my Yari cav does a little better against the monk cav, but I wasn't really managing my cav very well either. I probably could have gotten it into position where I could have gotten a better downhill charge. But in any case, I felt like that one turned out okay in the end, other than I shouldn't have thrown away my monk cav again, or my bow cav against his monk cav. I thought his monk cav would rout sooner, and they didn't. And since they have a little bit of a bonus versus cavalry, they were destroying my bow cav very quickly. But fortunately, I was able to get a few kills on his monk cav with my bow cav before they were killed, which in the end ended up being somewhat helpful. You can see this unit right here got 42 kills, and that was pretty much all monk cav. This unit got 36. So yeah, they did end up, scoring me some kills, I guess where it counted. But you can see that my swords here, and Patchy did a lot of that. And of course, Patchy mopped up a lot of routing units and bows. So, but in any case, you can see how that went over there. Let's check out my opponent's troops. This warrior monk cav right here just cleaned up. His bow monks got a lot of kills, and this other warrior monk cav cleaned house. But you can see the rest of his infantry did very poorly. I thought that his Yariashigaru, or no, that was Spear Wall. They didn't have hold firm. Yeah, that's right, they didn't have hold firm. So that was actually kind of a waste for my opponent to bring that. Anyway, good game to my opponent. Maybe let's try for one more. Alright, this looks like a pretty good matchup. This guy from the Battlestar clan looks like he's ranked Silver 9. Let's go ahead and build up my army here. He's already readied up, so I'm going to have to be quick. It really kind of frustrates me how people ready up that quick and don't be just, a little more polite about giving you an opportunity to select your army. I'm not going to say that it doesn't annoy the crap out of me, because it most definitely does. I'm going to bring a couple of Nagi Samurai to help my guys out. I'll bring this Waka Raider. And I want to bring some good Katana infantry. Get some good killing power there. Let's see, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Got quite a bit of infantry, some good bows. And let's throw in some Nagi attendants here to kind of fill in the rest. Give me some throwaway units. So I've got a powerful bow force, mediocre cav, some decent spear protection, and then a pretty potent attacking force between my long yari and my swords. Let's see what happens here. Kind of wish I would have had a little more time to think about an army, but I think this army is kind of it's decent all around. It's not any good at one thing, but it's pretty good at a few things. I've played some people from this Battlestar clan before, and in fact I think I've had some pretty good games with a few of them. Seems like back in the day when I was playing 2v2s with Hannibal and Ares that I played against some of these guys. I may not have been this guy, but it seems like I had some pretty good games against some of these guys. So I don't know what to expect here. See this map. It's going to depend on what key buildings they put around here. I usually like to stay on the top of it, though. Most people usually challenge for the top of this map. However, whenever there's important key buildings elsewhere, sometimes they'll deploy their army elsewhere. He's playing the Metsuke Inspector, so he must have expected me to be playing the Shinobi Informer, but I did not. There is a morale shrine down here, which would be pretty stinking handy, plus a sword dojo. But honestly, having the high ground would be pretty nice too. But I don't think I want to give up a sword dojo and a morale shrine. So I would honestly, I think, rather go for those at this point. Especially that morale. I tend to find the morale building to be pretty key. And if I'm near enough to that, I'll leave one unit of Nagi attendants hidden up here. So I'm going to kind of bunch my guys up right here. And, well, not all of them, actually. He's readied up, so I'm going to have to kind of hurry up here. My guys are a little bunched up down here for my liking, but I can spread them out as needed. My Yori Cav hidden right there for just a second. We'll see what my opponent wants to do. Okay, looks like he's spread out all over the place. I see a crap ton of Nagi Samurai. In fact, it's a Nagi spam. Yeah, he's just completely and totally spammed a Naginata Samurai. Really not sure what the reasoning is there. Maybe he expected me to cav spam? I don't know. That is a lot of units. It's a heck of a lot of units, and it's kind of concerning. It's an interesting spam because my cav is going to be worthless against it. My arrows are not going to do so well against it. But its attack is really low. But I mean, I only have like 3 good attack units versus like the freaking crap ton of units that he has overall. So I'm going to keep my cav kind of sitting here. I wish I could get a hold of that morale shrine, but I'm sure that that's not going to happen at this point. I'm not going to be able to get very good shots down on those guys. My opponent is going to cap the building for attack. I'm going to move forward my long Yari here. I think my long Yari will be a good unit to oppose. He can charge those guys in, and my long Yari will kill these guys with almost no losses involved. And my opponent really shouldn't be attacking me until he gets all his men down here. But yeah, his Naginata Samurai will just get destroyed by my long Yari. My guys will take probably almost no losses. Where's my bows at? Where's my bows? I don't want them to shoot my long Yari in the back. I'm going to actually inspire my long Yari here and go into a stand and fight. I'm going to try and bottleneck my opponent's units a little bit. My long Yari is going to hold down this whole flank very well, so I'm just going to put some troops over here to busy my opponent, and I'll take a lot of my attack power to this side. You can see my long Yari actually is just absolutely destroying right now. It's already racked up 100 and some odd kills. My opponent has a lot of troops. He's got a lot of troops. And he's going to have pretty good attack and morale since he capped those 2 shrines. It's actually kind of an interesting strategy that he's taken here. But I do think that my long Yari is going to put a whole lot of hurt down on his guys. A significant amount of hurt. And my opponent is leaving these buildings behind now, so I'll actually try and run down to that attack building, see if I can take it away from him. I'm going to kill his general with my bows. And I'm just going to throw even more men into the mix. All my men are committed now. I'm going to wait till the rest of his men commit, and then I'll hit them with my Yari Cav. I'll try and kill his general right here. I should be able to take him down pretty quick. But I'm going to have to wait with my Yari Cav. When I say I'm going to have to wait, I actually probably won't have to wait.
Our men are running from the battlefield. Shameful display.
Let's see if I can run a hammer and anvil strike right here. Oh, his guys broke through. Crap. My guys are routing. All of a sudden my guys started routing. That's really bad.
Our general is in grave danger, my lord.
Yeah, I'm in bad shape now.
Our men are running from the battlefield! Shameful display!
Wow, this is really getting close here, folks. I'm going to retreat to this hill. His guys are starting to get really low morale. My general is still down there. Some of my men have come back from routing, though, and I'm going to, like I said, try and retreat, take a hill advantage, and just see what I can do with my bows. I've got a lot of ammunition, and it's really going to be my only chance at trying to turn the tide of this battle. I might be able to turn this around, though. I mean, it's still looking pretty rough. I'm going to try and cap that attack thing. Patchy has really done a stellar job of hanging in there a really long time and allowing me to cause some morale damage to the enemy units. Otherwise, I honestly think that this guy's plan might have worked a lot faster. Now, I'm not saying it won't work. He's still got a lot of men left, and it's very possible that his plan could work. But I think with this hill advantage, I can probably hold out.
He lives, but must leave the battle.
Okay, his guys are pushing on me on the hill. I just capped the attack, though, and I'm going to see if I can pour down some... his guys should be suffering pretty badly now as far as fatigue. I'm going to put some token units to guard this side. I'll keep all my good units on one side, try and cause a chain rout, and then I'll focus my fire elsewhere. I need to make sure my bows are firing on the back, towards the back of his men, so that I'm not hitting my own men. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to rout him. This was actually a really, a really tough spam on the part of my opponent. I've never seen a Nagi spam before, but by gosh, it was tough. And if I hadn't recapped that attack shrine and stuff, I'm not sure that I would have been able to beat him here. Interesting battle. I've never played one like that. So that was a new one on me. Hope you all enjoyed that. That was a pretty tough battle. I honestly didn't think I was going to win that there for a second. The sheer number of men he had was pretty ridiculous. But you can see my Long Yari Ashigaru racked up 319 kills in that battle. Wow. Naginata spam. There you go. I didn't realize that it could be that powerful. But I mean, it kind of makes sense. Your cav can't take it down. Your missiles can't very well take it down. And there's so many of them that they can possibly overwhelm your position, which is darn near what they did. And I would say I had a pretty defensible position, too. Thank goodness some of my men came back from routing right there, too, and helped save my bows. If they hadn't, that would have been bad also. Wow, that was a close one. That was real close. Naginata spam. I would have never thought of that. I mean, I would have thought of it back in the day whenever they first made the patch that got rid of lone swords. Naginata spam was actually very powerful. Like, very, very powerful. It was honestly pretty powerful right there. Thought it was going to kill me. But, yeah, back in the day it was even worse. Before they came back and nerfed some of the retainers and the Naginata stuff. So, let's see, my opponent deployed 1,485 men, which is quite a lot considering that was an all-samurai army. You can see that two of my units, though, accounted for 500 of those kills. So these two units right here basically saved my butt, because my other units did very poorly. Very poorly. Wow, that is a lot of Naginata samurai, and thank goodness my bow units were able to kill his general and help turn that battle back into my favor. Hope you all enjoyed that, YouTube. I'm going to sign off for now. Tell me, I'm going to bring you some more SPQR campaign on Rome Total Realism, and I will discuss some of the other mods, because some of you have suggested that I use other mods. I'll discuss them with you and kind of tell you what I think of them and why I chose Rome Total Realism. And I'm not saying that I won't try one of the other mods, but there's a few that I would really rather not. If you really want me to, I will. But I'll explain it to you. And also, some of you have been asking for the Uesegi campaign. I will do that as well eventually, but I'm not in any huge hurry because Rome 2 doesn't come out for quite some time. and that's really my main goal, is to get that done before Rome 2. Anyway, hope you enjoyed this. I will be back soon with more videos.